So everyone, welcome back to our Bad Batch reviews. Today we're doing Season 1, Episode 15. I think it's called Back to Kamino. Right? Yeah.
Yes. Return to Kamino.
Return, yeah. Okay. That was close. So, being the penultimate episode, 15 out of 16 for this season, episode recap. Let me give you some health. There. I'm actually kind of blanking. I watched the last two episodes today, so they're kind of getting confused.
At the same thing.
Yeah.
But no, so in episode 14, Hunter was captured, and he
that's right. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, they kind of immediately go to Kamino. There's no fussing around or debate. Omega's pretty adamant about it. Omega gets them on like some secret platform in the middle of the ocean that transports them to a secret laboratory in Topoka City, which is where Lama Su created the Bad Batch and Omega, so a little bit of an origin detail there. From that point, yes, that's what happens. Crosshair goes to the imprisoned Hunter, using Hunter's comlink to lure the Bad Batch into a trap in the training area with the fake battle droids. So it gets kind of messy from this point. It turns out Crosshair has motives of... He kind of wants the Bad Batch to get back together again, because they're a squad and they're better than the regulars, so kind of some prejudice there. So he kills his, he actually kills the other, his squad of, like, the shadow-looking troopers. And then Omega thinks she needs to help out the situation to save the Bad Batch, so she activates all the enemy battle droids, and the entire Bad Batch, Crosshair included, fights off the battle droids and kills them. So after all the battle droids are dead, Hunter stuns Crosshair, and I guess they're gonna go try to save him or something. For the last detail, this is kind of really messy, but the Imperial Admiral we keep seeing, he does a base Delta Zero, so he orders the Venators to bombard Topoka City, and that starts blowing up, and we're left with a little cliffhanger about how the Bad Batch will escape. Alright, with that out of the way, we got the whole crew today, family, B-Star Wars fans, Steve Harvey's Papa, to discuss the episode.
Hey guys, it's been a while.
Alright, so episode 15, I guess kind of general broad impressions about it.
I guess I can go.
Sure.
To be honest, I'm a little underwhelmed with this. I want this to be more that, like, cause we had so many storylines going on. We had the bounty hunters, we had the Kaminoans, we had the Crosshair. We had, like, kind of finding out how Omega was made, like, what's her special ability.
Right.
Like, there's all those things that were happening earlier in the season, and now I'm pretty sure the bounty hunters won't be coming back because the Kaminoans really aren't a factor anymore.
Yeah, the Empire
Prime
phased him
Minister
out.
was killed.
Was he?
And, yes.
I
thought it was a little more inconclusive.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I'm
like
guessing he was
implied,
killed.
but it's not like definite because we didn't see anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear any blaster shots.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I kind of like him too. I wouldn't want him gone.
I'm gonna assume that he's dead, but now let's
Yeah,
say
that's reasonable.
Yeah, he's in, or she's in Imperial custody, so she's not really ordering around bounty hunters right now. And
Right.
so I feel like we could have had those storylines come back like in the past few episodes, but they just didn't. And now it's like, I just feel like this could be bigger, but it's just kind of weird because now they killed off Crosshair Squad, which was pretty cool. Honestly, I did like that squad. They were very interesting, like kind of dynamic between Crosshair and them, and but now with the motives of Crosshair, it's getting a little weird. So I'm interested to see what they do with the finale, but a little bit disappointed. But the one thing I did like about this episode was how Crosshair got his chip removed.
Yeah, so
that shocked me.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that.
That was great. That was
So,
I love that.
Crosshair actually got his chip removed, and I guess for the whole season we were under the impression that he was working for the Empire with the chip in his head, but it turns out he was pro-Empire without the chip for his own reasons, and like he wanted the bad
so much more interesting. That is so much more interesting than just a chip. Yeah.
I thought that was a good yeah, I like that because it deepens. There we go. It deepens his character because he's not just like a mindless robot.
Right.
But we were saying earlier, his motives are a little muddy, maybe. Star Wars. I know you said something about that.
Oh right, yeah. So it's he says this line about how like he was given the Bad Batch a chance, right? Like a chance that he was never given. And I'm like, wait, what? And it's clear that like he wants the to be a squad again with Hunter and the rest of the gang. But he wants it to be like on the side of the Empire. So, but then he
like
goes and he kills
sake
the
of
rest
order
of the squad.
or whatever.
Yeah. Like Hunter's saying like, oh, well, the Empire's just using you. Well, I mean, didn't the Republic just use the clones? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I see where Crosshair's is coming from.
Yeah, I wish they, I think that's like intentional, honestly, because they did go into the Clone Wars a lot about how the clones were just kind of pawns of the Republic and how the Republic isn't really like all good. But they didn't really hone in on that, I guess, in this episode. That like Crosshair didn't really point out directly the hypocrisy in Hunter's statement, which I wish they did. I wish they, I wish there was more talk between Hunter and Crosshair, because that was like the best part of the episode, honestly. But I think that Crosshair supporting the Empire isn't really surprising, honestly, because out of the group, he's always been the more cold and cunning and kind of, the way he talks, the way he goes about himself is very cold and deceitful and whatnot. So if anyone's going to support the Empire, yeah, exactly, that's the perfect word. So, yeah, I don't know. That's just how I feel about Crosshair. I think him supporting the Empire makes sense. I think we'll get more of that later on, and obviously he's not dead, so I'm interested to see that. I'm pretty sure after he realizes that
the Empire crossed him.
Empire, yeah, tried to kill him on Kamino, he'll start to become a little more disillusioned with them. I'm pretty sure that's how he'll start to go down the side of being good with the Bad Batch again. But yeah, I really like Crosshair in this.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Crosshair's expecting after he kills, the other, like Death Trooper squad. Right? His own squad. He kills them and then he's like, hey, join the Empire. It's like, okay, but what's the Empire gonna think about you killing their troopers?
That part. But the only reason he killed the troopers was because they were about to kill the Bad Batch, and he still cares about them, obviously. So, which I think is really interesting. That whole chip thing, that was a really good twist. It's not a huge thing, but I really like that twist they did. It makes his character so much more interesting, and I don't know, the chip thing in general has always been kind of just it's kind of strange. Yeah, it's just weird the way it works and how I don't know. It's just, I mean, it's Star Wars. I'm not looking for fucking realism or anything. But it was just weird. So to find out that he actually was doing this all on his own volition is a lot more interesting.
Yeah,
so,
probably the best moment for the episode. At least for me.
And then the other part was the Kamino destruction for me, but we'll get into that, I'm sure.
Ooh, I haven't been taking as many notes. Sorry. Hey, you got something?
Yeah, I really wish we got to see more of like the clone troopers phasing out or having their chips malfunction or fail. Really, the only kind of like, I guess they're kind of being like extremely subtle about it was when Captain Hauser gives the speech to the other clones, and some of the clones like lay down the weapons, and some of the other clones didn't. That was basically all that we kind of got of like this quote unquote like clone rebellion, right? In Legends, I think we've also talked about this in other episodes.
Yeah,
you know, I really thought they were gonna kind of go along the way of, you know, Kamino would actually kind of clone their own.
That's what I was thinking too, but
and they would like stage kind of like a rebellion uprising. Obviously, that hasn't. It's not gonna happen.
with Kamino blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. At first, I thought like, wait, why is like the Empire getting rid of like all of the technology? But I think they got some of the technology. They're just destroying the facility.
Yeah, like
they got rid of the
captured
technology
docks
and their
stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So that's all they need.
Well, I think they kept some of the cloning technology.
All right.
Because there's all that stuff about you know, the plan for Palpatine to be resurrected, right?
That's like that's the whole reason they brought Nala Se or whatever, is because she knows the technology and she's like the head or the chief scientist or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, but yeah, it's like, but other than that, like, what happened to all the other Kaminoans that were there? I mean, there's got to be like, you know, thousands of them. They're a whole species, a race. But all we saw was the Prime Minister. The doors getting closed on him. I don't know if he got arrested or killed. All the other ones, I don't know what happened to them.
We don't really know. I guess we can only assume that they're either killed or imprisoned. I guess. I mean,
Yeah,
I wish they showed
really
that.
wish. Yeah, exactly. It's like there's so much that the series like could have done to sort of advance the lore of Star Wars, but it's really just like it focused on like the Bad Batch doing the mission to pick up some spice. Right? It's like, okay,
They did that.
that was
yeah,
really
they did. They pulled that 3 times or something. Sure.
Yeah. You know, nothing new here, but you know, Omega is still annoying to me. You know, she still wants to go to back to Kamino to rescue Hunter without assessing the consequences or analyzing.
Hey, they're not off the planet yet, but it's worked so far. Okay.
But I don't know. She's like, no, we got to go back to get Hunter. I'm like,
Listen, man, they're a team.
I don't care.
Okay, you don't leave a man behind.
I mean, I don't know, but it's like the thing is just like she doesn't even like comes up with a plan.
How old is she? Like
assesses
8?
The risks or damages. I don't know.
At the most.
She's 8, bro. She's not a
I don't know. How
strategist,
old is
okay?
she?
She's a part of the team.
Maybe 12.
And she's a good part of the team. And if she wasn't in this show, I'm making the claim right now. Not even the claim, the statement, the firm statement that if she wasn't in the show, that this show would be much more boring. And I am standing by that until the day I am being put in my goddamn grave. Okay?
You're gonna defend that hill.
I will die on that hill many times over.
I don't know. She really could have just been like. She could have been so much better than me, in my opinion.
Well,
you know, I don't think she needed to be a clone. You know, all this other stuff, right? Because I mean, really, it's just like really nothing special about her. She's just a female clone of Django. Like what? Okay. Oh yeah, there's also like. Yeah, you know, you mentioned her age, but there's also something that she mentioned in the episode where, like, she was there for the birth of all the other Bad Batch members.
Bad Batch, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't really know how old she is. I mean, I think she's like unaltered, right? Because I mean,
Alright. Like
yeah.
Boba.
Yeah, she ages
everybody's-
normally. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I thought that was kind of surprising.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know how.
Well, I mean, the clone.
like-
Say she's like 10 years old. The clones haven't been around. Well, I mean, she was a clone,
Like 13-ish years now.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it would make sense. That does make sense. It's not like kind of.
And that's probably why she had like such a. That explains why she had such a firm interest in the beginning of the show with joining up with them. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that would kind of make sense, sure. Artillery truck.
Oh yeah. Like also, like the episode's runtime was like 27 minutes. I mean, it's like a kind of
Yeah,
a really
that's
short
my
episode.
dad. Short? I thought
I
it was a
mean,
little
pretty
bit
like-
longer. Normally they're like
That's pretty
22
long.
minutes.
I feel like
That's
some of
pretty
the other
long
episodes
for
are like
Bad Batch.
30 minutes.
No, we'll
Well,
have to
episode
check.
14, which I watched today too. Episode 14 was, I think, like 30 minutes, but like everything before that, except excluding like an episode or two here and there,
Like
was
the
mostly
first
like
one.
20. It was mostly like 24, 25 usually. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but I don't like the show started off so strong with that like like the hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we could save that talk
Episode.
for the season review, which I assume we all want to do, right?
Yeah, sure.
No, I never want to do that. Never, ever.
Well, alright. I think I'm good. You boys got anything left?
What about Kamino's destruction, man?
Well, you could talk about that. I mean,
Dude,
it
that was
looked cool,
a
sure.
really good scene, man. That was really cool how they did that.
Okay. Like the cinematography,
The empty halls and everything.
That
yeah,
was-
the
okay, that was
music,
pretty cool.
The music combined with the empty halls, and I mean, like, listen, I know I dislike the prequels a little bit more than you guys might, but like those halls and that location has been a huge part of our childhoods, you know, and seeing it just
Lego Star
get
Wars.
destroyed like that, yeah, it's sad, you know, and the way it was done, I
Yeah.
think, is really cool. So.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
you know,
like Tarkin says like fireman ready, like implying that
Like the Death
guess,
Star.
Yeah, throw it back to the Death Star. I was like, wait, are they gonna test a Death Star on this? I was like, what?
That's
the Death
what
Star
I was
isn't
thinking.
completed.
I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I thought that scene was really cool, and that and the Crosshair and Hunter stuff was probably my favorite stuff from the episode. But I'm really excited to see where the finale goes.
Finale, yeah.
Wait, do we know how long the finale is gonna be? Is it gonna be like an hour, like the first episode was?
That would be sweet. I really hope it's
I don't
like
know.
that.
I
'cause
feel like it really needs to be longer than 27
'Cause
minutes.
I feel like none of the episodes have hit just as the same as the first one. That first
Exactly.
one was
Oh
so
no, yeah,
good.
and I like the show more than you guys do, I think. And I that
Right.
first episode was easily the I think the first episode and I guess this episode have been kind of my favorite ones. But that first episode, man, like that really was just so good, and it was. I think it's because it had so much time, you know, to develop it, and I think that you need something at least 30 minutes for the finale to wrap up all this stuff that's been going on, you know.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's also gonna be a second season announced.
Season
next year.
2!
Did they officially announce the second season?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
I always thought the Bad Batch was gonna be like a one and done season, but
Yeah,
it's
like I was
more.
wondering because like they confirmed because like all these other Star Wars shows like Kenobi and whatnot, they were all like right away they were like, okay, this is gonna be a one and done thing, but they didn't do that with the Bad Batch, so they were probably just waiting to see what the response was gonna be or something.
Yeah.
And then if it got a lot of people watching it and a lot of buzz around it, then they would probably just do another 10,000 seasons of it and milk it dry.
Good old
You know,
Disney.
Yeah, but yeah, episode was good, in my opinion.
Family, you? Any last thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm just hoping the finale's good.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, I think with that, we'll wrap up our episode review for Return to Kamino, and yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.
Yeah.